Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be sharing with you a step by step on pattern drafting, how to cut and sew this beautiful maxi long dress. It's actually a simple video tutorial. All you have to do is watch this video to the end, like, comment and share with friends. So guys, let's get started. On my pattern paper, I'm gonna head to draw my shoulder line. Okay, so from my shoulder line down to my bust point is 10 inches, to my under bust is 13 inches, to my waistline is 16 inches, and to my hip line, okay, to my hip line is 26 inches. Okay, so I'll go ahead and draw a straight line across all my marked points. So guys, here is my bust line, my bust, my under bust, my waist and my hip. Okay, then the next thing to do here, my shoulder measurement is 16 inches divided by 2 is going to give me 8 inches. So I'm going to mark my 8 inches point here. Okay, then from my 8 inches point I'm going to go down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and from my shoulder slope point I'm going to go down by 7 inches. Okay, it's not going to have a sleeve, so I don't want my armpit to be showing. Okay, so here will serve as my chest line. Okay, then the next thing, for my neckline width, I'll be making use of 3.5 inch, okay, which is this point here. Then I'm going to connect my shoulder slope point to my neckline point. Okay, and for my front neckline width, I'll be coming down by 3 inches. Okay, then the next thing to do here is to mark for our armhole curve. Okay, so I'm going to divide what I have here, which is 7 inches divided by 2 is going to give me 3.5. So I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch. Okay, 1/2 inch as to create my armhole curve. Then going over to my chest line, I'm going to take my bust circumference, which is my bust circumference of 35 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 8.8 inches. Okay, 8.8. So I'll mark my point here, then add my 1.5 inch hemming allowance here. Okay, so I'm going to connect these points together. Then the next thing to do here is to take our basic body measurement. Okay, coming over to my bust line, my bust circumference of 35 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 8.8 inches. So I'll mark my point here, then add my 1.5 inch hemming allowance here. Okay, to my underbust, my underbust circumference of 29 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 7.2 inches. So I'll mark my 7.2 inches, then add my 1.5 inch hemming allowance. Okay, to my waistline, my waist circumference of 27 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 6.8 inches. Okay, so I'll mark my 6.8 inches, then add 1.5 inch hemming allowance. Okay, then down to my hip line, my hip circumference of 37 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 9.2 inches. So I'll mark my point here, then add 1.5 inch hemming allowance. So I'm going to connect all my points together. Okay, then the next thing to do here is to create our front pattern dart. Okay, coming over to my bust line, I'm going to mark my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 8 inches divided by 2 is going to give me 4 inches. So I'm going to mark 4 inches at my bust line, on the bust line, waistline. Okay, and my hip line. Okay, then I'm going to draw a straight line connecting my nipple to nipple line. Then from my waistline, I'm going to go down by 5 inches. Okay, 5 inches, mark my point here. Okay, and also from my waistline, I'm going to go up by 5 inches. Okay, 5 inches to mark for my front pattern. That okay. After that, at the waistline, I'm going to take out half an inch from each side. Okay, half an inch from each side of my nipple to nipple line. Okay, then I'm going to connect this to this point and to this point. Okay, you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to connect it this way. Okay, so this is it, and our front pattern, that length is 10 inches. Coming over to our shoulder. Okay, you can remember that this dress pattern has a small shoulder. Okay, so I'm going to reduce it by finding my midpoint. So what I have here is 4.5 inches. Okay, as to get my midpoint, I'm going to divide my 4.5 inch by 2, which is 2.2 inches. So my midpoint here is 2.2 inches. Okay, so I'm going to mark my point. I've gone ahead to mark my point. Then I'm going to create a new armhole. Okay, a new shoulder line. Okay, so this is now our new shoulder line. Okay, so then the next thing to do here is to create our backs effect. Okay, so coming over to my waistline, I'm going to go down by 4 inches. You can as well go down by 5 inches. Okay, so I'll be going down by 4 inches. Okay, which is here. Then I'm going to connect it. Also, I'm also going to take, remember the length of this dress is going to be 57 inches. Okay, but here on my pattern paper, what I have here from my shoulder line, what I have here is 39.8 inches. Okay, so I'm going to take my hip measurement and mark it at the hem of my pattern paper. Okay, so here what I have here is 11 inches. Okay, so I'm also going to mark 11 inches here at the hem of my pattern paper. Okay, which is here. Then I'm going to connect it down. Okay, hope you guys are understanding what I'm doing. Okay, so this is all for the front pattern. Then I'm going to cut this out. Okay, so guys, this is for our front pattern. Okay, then to create my pleated hem, I'll be marking 1 inch. Okay, for my pleated hem. After that, I also went ahead to draw a straight line across my 1 inch point and also labeled my lines. Okay, don't forget to hit on the subscription button, subscribe to this channel, like, comment and share with your friends. Okay, I also went ahead to cut out my pleats just as seen in this video. Okay, so guys, this is all for our front pattern. Okay, front pattern. So while cutting on our fabric, we are going to take this now to our desired length. Okay, to our desired length, then cut it out. Okay, then let's cut for the back pattern. So guys, to cut for my back pattern, as you can see, I've gone ahead to give my zipper allowance of 1.5 inch. So here is my bust line, on the bust line, waistline, and my hip line. Okay, so I'm also going to go ahead and take my shoulder measurement of 8 inches. Okay, just the same way we did for the front pattern, 8 inches. Okay, then I'll go down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, which is here, and from my shoulder slope point I'm also going to go down again by 7 inches. Okay, which is here. Then I'll draw a straight line connecting my marked points. Then for my back neckline width, I'll be making use of 3.5 inches. Okay, then for the length, I'll be making use of 1.5 inch. Okay, then I'll go ahead and curve for my neckline. And also go ahead to connect my shoulder slope for my back pattern. So this line here will also serve as my chest line. Okay, then the next thing to do here is to mark for our armhole curve. Okay, so coming over to my chest line, I'm going to take my bust circumference of 35 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 8.8 inches. So I'll mark my 8.8 inches here, then add 1.5 inch for my hemming allowance. Okay, then I'm going to curve for my armhole, my back pattern armhole, like this. Okay, then the next thing to do here is to take our basic body measurement. Coming over to my bust line, my bust circumference of 35 divided by 4 is going to give me 8.8 inches. So I'll mark my point here, then add 1.5 inch for my hemming allowance. To my underbust circumference of 29 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 7.2 inches, which is this point here. Then I'll add 1.5 inch for my hemming allowance. Moving down to my waistline, my waist circumference of 27 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 6.8 inches. So I'll mark my 6.8 inches, add 1.5 inch for my hemming allowance. Then moving down to my hip circumference of 37 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 9.2 inches. So I'll mark my point here, then add 1.5 inches. Okay, remember at the hem, which is the down part of our pattern paper, we are also going to take our hip measurement. Okay, just measure what you have here. What I have here is 11 inches, so I'll also mark the 11 inches here. Okay, then go ahead and connect all your marked points together. Okay, then the next thing is to take our back pattern dart. Okay, so we are going to mark our nipple to nipple measurement at the back pattern. So my nipple to nipple measurement is 8 inches divided by 2 is going to give me 4 inches. So from my bust line, I'm going to mark 4 inches down to my hip line. Okay, then I'm going to draw a straight line connecting my marked points. To mark for my dart at the waistline, I'm going to take 1/2 inch from each side of my nipple to nipple line, which is here and here. Okay, then also from my waistline at the nipple to nipple point here, I'm going to go down by 5 inches. Okay, I'm going to go downwards by 5 inches, and also I'm going to go upwards. Okay, from the waistline I'm going to go upwards by 10 inches. Okay, this is for the back pattern. here. Okay, so I'm going to extend my nipple to nipple line to my point, which is here. Then I'm going to connect from here to meet this point, then connect it here. Okay, then the next thing to do here is to mark for our shoulder. Okay, remember what we did for the front pattern. We get our midpoint, which is 2.2 inches, which is our midpoint. Okay, then from our marked point we are going to create a new armhole. Okay, okay. Then the next thing to do here is to create our backs effect. Okay, so from the waistline we are going to go down by 4 inches, which is this point here, then connect it. Then after that we are going to contour our zipper allowance to avoid zip bulge. Okay, so coming over to my bust line, okay, I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch. Okay, I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch, which is this point here. Okay, then from my 1/2 inch point I'm going to measure 1 inch for my zipper allowance. Okay, 1 inch, which is here. So I'm going to contour my zipper allowance this way. Okay, you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so the same applies to this side. From neckline you are going to contour your zipper allowance. Okay, okay. Then after that we are also going to create our pleats. Okay, with 1 inch, just the same way we did for the front pattern. Okay, then go ahead and cut it out. So this is it for our back pattern. You can see the zipper contour part. Okay, also go ahead and slit for your back pattern. So guys, this is all for our back pattern. Okay, while cutting for the down part, which is the pleated hem of your dress, you can as well measure to your desired length. Okay, so see you guys on the part 2 of this video, which is the sewing part. Okay.